Alright, hey, how's it going everybody? I'm Josh from the Mississauga Truth Movement, and basically I'm going to be talking to you today about the events that took place on July 27th, 2010 at the G20 convention. Basically we went down there, three of our buddies here from the Mississauga Truth Movement, and we made our way down to the Long Branch GO station, which is here on the lake shore just in Mississauga. And when we got there, we found out via the little TVs they have with the updates of the schedule and everything, that they're going to be stopping all the trains actually at Mississauga Station, which is one stop before Exhibition Place, where all week before they've been saying they're going to stop the trains so that nobody could really get into Union Station or to the real downtown core. I guess any anarchist or anybody looking to cause shit, at the G20, nobody could get close. But anyways, they canceled those trains, made them stop even further away, so we were trying to figure out what the hell we were going to do. That's a really far walk from Mississauga to walk there after that train. And then as we're debating what we're going to do, a message comes over the PA system and tells us, oh, all trains are going to be canceled now due to police activity at the request of the police. So now we're really thinking like, wow, they really don't want anybody to get close to the G20. They don't want nobody getting there, even activists and stuff, because they don't want us spreading our message and hearing what we have to say. So basically we were sitting around asking everybody that we saw that was trying to get downtown as well and had a car, they just didn't want to drive. We were asking them for rides, we were calling all the activists that we knew in the area that were going down, trying to get rides with them. And eventually around 5 or 6 o'clock, we finally got a ride down there. We parked, we were like 45 minutes away, so we still had a 45-minute walk. But we followed basically the big black smoke cloud above the city. And it was pretty easy to make our way there after that. And once we got down right underneath this big huge black plume of smoke, we were at Queen and Spadina, where they had just burned down all these cars. Yeah, we were walking down Queen Street and there was a huge crowd of protesters facing off pretty much with a line of black clad paramilitary SS death squad looking riot police. So we ventured into that crowd, kind of mingled in with them, and started with our little protest. Everything was pretty peaceful with the exception of 1 or 2 people that were throwing bottles from the back as they walked by. Everybody was pretty peaceful, yeah. One of the dudes actually that whipped a bottle at the cops, I turned around to see what happened, and there's one guy running away and there's like 50 protesters, peaceful people chasing after this guy trying to stop him. So I mean the police knew what was good, like they knew that we were all peaceful protesters and we weren't there to cause shit. They seen that all the black bloc fucked their shit up and they watched it and let it all happen, and then they just moved in on us. So basically we were standing there protesting for at least an hour or so, and after a while I guess the cops kind of got fed up and they started pushing us back across the street. So we're sitting in the middle of Queen and Spadina and the intersection, and we're getting soaked, it's raining like crazy. And then they keep pushing us back further, they get all the way across the street, and we're standing there trying to reason with these cops, like figure out what the hell's going on. We're all peacefully protesting, right, and they're forcing us back down the street. Yeah, and then they began snatching people. Once we were on the other side of Queen Street, that's when the snatcher grabs started coming out. At first, we thought it was just people that were trying to incite violence and were more aggressive and stuff, but then as the night progressed, after like 3 or 4 hours of watching this go down, we realized that they were just grabbing people with cameras. It was mostly anybody with a camera that was documenting the situations, and anybody that was kind of leading a chant or whatever. Even the peaceful people, peaceful chants. There was no anarchists. There were no malicious people there at all. So basically, after 3 or 4, maybe 5 hours of them pushing us all the way up Queen Street and snatching photographers and very peaceful protesters for no good reason, just for the simple fact that they were there expressing their views and their opinions and trying to have their voices heard by the global elites, by these 20 global elite leaders and bankers and other people that I'm sure you all know about and we won't get into in this video. But yeah, after hours and hours of this, I guess the cops got tired of this pointless push up the street that was really getting them nowhere, except more people arrested and detained for their little Toronto Bay prison area. But so after hours of them pushing us up the street, pulling their little snatch and grabs on peaceful protesters and photographers, pretty much mainly photographers, and that's when I started getting a little bit scared because we were documenting all this stuff. But yeah, after a few hours, they started pulling out horses. The 4 RCMP guys, or Toronto cops, I guess, on horseback, pulled up, the cavalry. And then every 5 minutes when they pushed us first, they would open up the line of police officers, and the 4 horses would charge out probably like 25, 30 yards, and force everybody off the side of the street, make everybody run and scatter, just like pure intimidation tactic. That's all it was. It's like nothing that I've ever seen before would ever expect to see from Canadian police on their own peaceful citizens. Like, it's incredible what happened, and I can't believe people aren't really seeing what's going on. But anyways, yeah, the horses would charge at us. They did that for another hour or so, charge us with horses and try to get us to leave the area, I guess. But then they got tired of it, realized that we weren't going anywhere, nobody was going anywhere. They turned around and retreated. They went all the way back to the original Queen and Spadina spot where we were, where the burnt cars were, which, I should add, the burnt cars were sitting there for at least 6, 7, 8 hours, and just sitting there, and they were blocking them off, basically blocking the protesters' path, when they could have had those cars out of there within an hour. Like, I mean, they were put out, and they were still there for 6 or 7 hours. That should not happen. On any other day in the city, those cars would have been removed immediately, and the day's business would have continued. But yeah, they retreated back to their spot, and we stopped. We kind of got tired of the situation. It was about 1 in the morning. We walked in the subway to get some food, and as we were in Subway, 3 paddy wagons pulled up down the street right to where we just were, and multiple cruisers. We didn't go back down to find out what happened, but a few days later on the news, we heard that I think like 100 or something people got arrested at Queen and Spadina, right where we were that night, at about 1 or 2 in the morning. So we were really lucky that we stopped in that Subway there, always full of intuition.
Keep pointing at me, man! Keep pointing at it! Bitch.